Meanwhile, members of the NPP are preparing for the upcoming presidential primaries scheduled for November 4. For candidates Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Ohinejapon, Dr. Owusu Akoto and Francis Adenimo are set to compete for the opportunity to lead the governing party in the 2024 general elections. The following report brings you more details.
There is no doubt that the biggest political activity in 2023 will be the selection of the flag bearer for the new patriotic party. And rightly so, all aspects of the election, from the selection of dates to the Special Delegates Congress and now the main Congress slated for November 4, have taken over major headlines. This is certainly so because President Akufo-Addo, who has been the flag bearer of the party since 2007, constitutionally is barred from participating. Major phases of the processes so far have, however, faced a number of challenges and criticisms, albeit smooth. As of December 2022, there was controversy as to whether there would be an early Congress, which would mean that the presidential candidate would have been selected by July 2023, or a late Congress in November this year. The party at the time insisted that a decision was yet to be taken. One of the persons who later put himself up for the race, Boakye Jakun, after drawing comparisons with other presidential primaries, noted that the party could be thrown into disunity if it gets the selection of the dates for the presidential primaries wrong.
Why is it that every time we do these things, some of these things end up in court, in a family? It shouldn't. It's repeating itself one time too many. And you know, there's a gentleman in Kumasi. He says his position in his constituency is he's in charge of mafia. Is this something we want to adopt for ourselves?
But even before the issue of the timelines for the polls could be settled, the race had taken an interesting twist in early January 2023. Arguably, the longest-serving Trade and Industry Minister Alan Kyerematen had resigned from the Akufo-Addo government to concentrate on his bid to lead the NPP into the 2024 polls. This has been his fourth attempt. His campaign team developed the tagline "Edruwuso," to wit, "It is your time." He went into full action and launched the Great Transformation Program.
Fellow countrymen and women, if by the will of God and through your goodwill, I'm voted first as the flag bearer of the NPP and subsequently as President of the Republic in the next general elections, I will become the transformational leader of our time.
Shortly after that, then Agric Minister Dr. Owusu Akoto also resigned to focus on his campaign. Even though no official announcement was made, it was clear that Dr. Bawumia will be joining the race. Equally were intentions made by Boakye Jakun, Joe Gatti, Adenimo and Kennedy Ohinejapon. The party on April 3 then gave timelines for the election, which stated that a special delegate congress will be held on August 26 and the main congress on November 4. The party's election committee in overall has adhered to these tentative timelines.
We have our constitutional, there are constitutional ramifications, right? So if we are in opposition, you do your primaries 2 years before the time, 24 months. Before the time. If you are in power, you have a time limit, 11 months before the general election. So we are still within the time. So we don't look up to the NDC. The NDC are making their own mistakes. They are creating their own problems. They are creating their own cracks. So that is them. For us as the New Patriotic Party, I've just mentioned to you, Sammy, that we look up to a lot of factors.
In line with the timetable, nominations were opened on May 26, and by the close of nomination on June 26, 10 persons had filed to contest as flag-bearer hopefuls of the New Patriotic Party.
New Dawn is hinged on the following principles. 1. New Dawn refers to a belief in small, lean government machinery that is efficient, effective, and primed to deliver to the aspirations and expectations of the Ghanaian people.
I can assure you, the same way I was able to bring agriculture to the front line of policy discussion, it will be the same way that agriculture will be used to take us out of the clutches of the IMF.
Together with you, I want to see a Ghana where we attain food security in the shortest possible time through the application of science and data.
The vetting committee later passed all 10. The 10 persons were Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Alan Kyerematen, Kennedy Ohinejapong, Dr. Owusu Akoto, Francis Adainimo, Boakye Agyarko, Kofi Kunodo-Apraku, Kwabena Egyei-Agyapong, Kwadwo Poku, and Joe Garte. The 10 continued their campaigns across the country after the balloting. But ahead of the Special Delegates Congress, 9 of the candidates, excluding Dr. Bawumia, petitioned the National Council of the party for the Congress to be held at one venue instead of decentralizing the polls in the various regions. This petition was dismissed in its entirety, but through that came modalities to cross-check what the 9 candidates believed could be intimidation of voters.
We've also had a series of conversations with the people on the ground that believe that intimidation is going on. People are being told that if you vote, we will check the serial numbers, which is not possible, but at least we don't have to take it for granted. So we're making this plea so that at least the National Council could have taken a decision other than what took place in 2014.
It was broadly discussed and then it was voted on. It's very important that it is noted. 73 people voted that it should be decentralized. 9 voted that it should be centralized. So it tells you that the majority of the party does not agree with centralization. And I think that's a very important point we need to make.
The Special Delegates Congress was held on August 26 in a relatively peaceful manner, albeit pockets of violence in some regions. In the Northeast region, there were attacks on agents of Kennedy Agyapong and Alan Kyerematen. In the course of the polls, a visibly furious Kennedy Agyapong was spotted in a phone call where he promised to give the president and vice president a showdown.
Showdown in this country. President Akufo, member showdown. Vice President, member showdown. So, Mama chasing me agents. I'm not going to shut them. What do you best? Yes, but not challenge President Akufo anytime.
At the end of the polls, Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Alan Kyerematen, Dr. Owusu Akoto had been shortlisted to contest in the November 4 polls. Francis Adainimo and Boakye Agyarko had a tie in their votes and were expected to partake in another special round of votes to break the tie. But Boakye Agyarko withdrew from the contest after it was decided that the National Council was to break the tie. Alan Kyerematen later withdrew from the race after alleging that a Special Delegate Congress was skewed, resigned from the NPP and took a decision to contest the 2024 polls as an independent candidate.
I wish to use this platform to announce that I'm honorably resigning with immediate effect from the new Patriotic Party to contest for the high office of the President of the Republic of Ghana in the 2024 general elections as an independent presidential candidate.
These decisions keeps 4 persons in the race for November 4. The 4 are Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Dr. Owusu Akoto, and Francis Adainimo.